And my name is Krista Huff, and this is a training on how to implement a functional analysis. Let's start off by talking about the purpose of a functional analysis. A functional analysis is conducted to determine the function of a target behavior. According to Cooper and colleagues, antecedent conditions and consequences for problem behavior represented in the person's natural environment are arranged so that their effects on problem behavior can be observed and measured. So each test condition contains a motivating operation, also known as the antecedent condition, and a potential source of reinforcement for the problem behavior, also known as the consequence. So an overview of the procedure for a functional analysis. There are 5 conditions: a control condition, also known as the play condition, and 4 test conditions, which are contingent attention, contingent tangible, contingent escape, and alone. Each of these conditions are presented one at a time in an alternating sequence. So in the play condition, also known as the control condition, there are no motivating operations for the problem behavior present. The client has continuous access to their preferred activities, as shown in the image to the right, and social attention is being provided. There are no demands being placed at this time. If problem behavior does occur, it is ignored or neutrally redirected. So ideally, there should be low amounts of problem behavior in this condition, and this is the condition to which all our test conditions will be compared. Attention condition. The motivating operation is that the attention is diverted or withheld from the client. So in our image, the therapist is diverting their attention away from the client, but the client still has access to items in the room. So if problem behavior was to occur in this situation, that attention would then be provided to the client by giving mild reprimands or soothing statements, such as, "Don't do that, you may hurt yourself." So if problem behavior is elevated in this condition compared to our control condition, this indicates that the behavior is being maintained by immediate attention from others. This is also known as social positive reinforcement. Next is our contingent tangible condition. So in this condition, our motivating operation is the removal of the client's preferred activity or toy. So in this image, our therapist has taken away the client's most preferred toy, but the client is still going to have access to those moderately preferred or neutral items, and attention from the therapist will still be provided. So if problem behavior occurs in this condition, then the preferred activity or toy is then returned to the client. So if problem behavior is elevated in this condition, it means that the behavior is being maintained by access to reinforcing material. So this is also known as positive reinforcement. Next is our contingent escape condition. So in this condition, the motivating operation is that tasks are being provided using 3-step prompting. So in our image to the right, step 1 of this 3-step prompting would be the instruction is given. So the therapist would tell the client, "All right, we're going to tie your shoes." Next, the therapist would model tying their shoes. And then, as shown in the image, hand-over-hand prompting would be used to complete the task. So if problem behavior occurs, the therapist will then provide a break to the client and no demands will be given during this break. So if problem behavior is elevated in this condition, then behavior is being maintained by the removal of a demand, which is known as negative reinforcement. So our last condition of a functional analysis is the alone condition. So the motivating operation in this condition is low levels of environmental stimulation. So in our image, the client is alone in the room. If a therapist is present, then their attention is not going to be provided. and there are no play materials available. And if there's any task materials, it's very few, maybe a pencil or a piece of paper. And if problem behavior occurs, it's similar to the control condition that the behavior is ignored or neutrally redirected. So if we are having elevated problem behavior in this condition, this means that the behavior is maintained by automatic reinforcement, meaning the behavior itself is reinforcing to the client. For example, hand flapping is a very common one. So if there is no environmental stimulation and the client begins hand flapping, it means that this is just automatically reinforcing to the client. The behavior itself is reinforcing. And that is our training for functional analysis. Thank you.